Alright, welcome back to Dorms and Teens for episode Who Cares? I stopped counting.
This is 7.
So, today we're introducing a new mechanic, just in case roleplay gets too intense for somebody and they want to move to a different scene. This is basically an added, like, let's keep everybody comfortable with the way that a scene unfolds. It's a supplement to the Veils and Lines, okay? It's the X card. Anytime that somebody wants to pause the scene or skip it, you can just pick it up, raise it. No questions asked, we'll move to something different, okay? Cool.
Sounds good.
Alright. Gonna make it here so that everybody can see. Okay. We start today with the different preparations that our heroes are doing in the 3 weeks that they have before it is time to go into the Feywild for Schooltrip, basically. You'll be gathering a little bit of ingredients. You'll have the students like learning things about the cosmology of different realms that exist all around you at all times. And so we start with Leraza. Leraza, you're doing research on you're doing a lot of research on the Feywild in the library. You don't have that much time during those 3 weeks. By the way, everybody adds 60 gold to their character sheets. You've been paid for 3 weeks worth of work. So, Damien, you are going to get one roll. Okay?
On what?
You can choose Arcana, History, Nature.
History, because I got +4 now.
Okay, sounds good. And because of how much time you have, you're gonna roll with advantage.
These dice.
Natural 20?
9.
9, okay. +4, that's 13.
13.
Okay. You know that the Feywilds are the homes of different fairy creatures. Some say that the elves come from the Feywilds because they have pointed ears, like a lot of the tricksters there. You find satyrs, fairies, sprites, animated plants, all sorts of whimsical creatures, all under the command of the Archfey, mysterious mercurial creatures that sort of reflect the, some scholars say reflect the nobility of the prime material world from where all of you come. Portals to the Feywild have been known to show up randomly in the wilderness or close to towns, close enough that some curious folks, maybe children, might stumble through and never be seen again. But those legends also say that they get to live a life of whimsy in the Feywild and they become inhabitants there. The rumors persist to this day, and you are all aware that there is big risk for the students that are going to be accompanying you for the school trip, and so you must be watchful at all times. It is not more dangerous than the prime material plane or any of the other dimensions that exist. It is simply different. Cool. During your research, you are allowed in the forbidden section of the library. You're fully fledged adult and spellcaster in your own right. As you do, I would like for you to make a perception check. The difficulty is just 8, but you still want to pass the difficulty.
Please, please let it be a need at least. 7 plus 1, 8.
Okay, difficulty 8, pass. You, as you're turning the aisles of this section, you encounter the 3 kobolds that you've seen the other day. Toppled, Middle, and Kubotum are splayed. The way you notice them is that you heard 3 loud snoring. But 3 of those. Their equipments, lots of bag pouches. They don't. They have light travel equipment, basically, and they are sharing not very well the trench coat as a blanket.
I wonder why they're sleeping there.
Huh? Oh, hello, Master Dragonborn. It's so good to see you. Please, we're just crashing for a couple of days in a section that nobody comes into.
Huh.
Like, we'll be gone before you know it. Promise. And one of them turns to their bags. You think it's Kubotum. You see that he grabs a couple of grabs a mug, grabs a food ration, sort of sprinkles the food ration, and adds a little bit of water from his pouch, turns to you and says, "You want morning coffee?"
No, thank you.
It gives a lot of energy for the day. You can absorb way more nutrients through if you drink liquid food than you can if you eat solid food. One of them comes up to you, sort of like tugs your uniform to try to get your attention, and extends his hand towards yours. Thank you for all you're doing. I appreciate you a lot. And you see that he takes a coin from this hand and slips it into your hand. It's a copper. It's a copper piece.
Okay. I don't know what to say. It's like, okay, with all the snoring, people will notice you're here.
Okay, we'll take watches like that, like adventurers do, to sort of like close the mouths of the ones that are.
Don't damage anything.
Promise. Promise. Thank you. You're the best. Okay, you can add 1 copper point to your character. How is Xares preparing for this school trip?
I am, I guess, going to do Arcana since I afford that one.
Are you doing research of your own?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I gave the like. Yeah, go ahead and do Arcana. Go ahead and roll. You're doing more research. That's
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, Damien was doing, what, history?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give a lot of the information that I'm gonna give out. If you want, this is basically a downtime, so you can get to know some characters, research some stuff, and stuff like this. There's also, do you want to use this time to get some particular equipment, or?
Oh yeah, we do have lots of...
Gold.
I mean, yeah, equipment would probably be, like, if he has most of the information we'd get anyway, Equipment. Yeah.
Is the school
You can also roll for Arcana, and I can tell you a little bit about the magic, but I personally don't know that much. I don't necessarily know what I would be adding.
Are we
Yeah.
gonna get anything from the school? Are they gonna provide us with like?
You have your adventurous pack. It's got rations. It's got ropes, things like this. They are going to provide 32 rations for every kid, every adult that goes on that trip. You already had rations beforehand.
Okay. 32 rations divided by 3. Is that
Why are you making us do math this way?
9?
Oh, what? Oh, you mean
Yes.
prices and stuff like this?
Well, no. What I mean is, you have 32 rations between 3 people.
No.
No.
Each get
Everyone
32.
has.
Oh.
So I was trying to do the math, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner math with the rations to see how long he's kind of thinking we're gonna be in.
No. One ration gets you cleared for 1 full day. You're going for a whole month.
We're going for a whole month.
Yes.
Is this gonna be a multi-
Will a month have passed when we get back?
You will be gone for a whole month. You know what? Roll Arcana. I forgot about the aspects of dimension, some dimensional aspects that are really fun.
Okay, fine. I will roll Arcana.
I
I got a 16.
All right, excellent. You there we go. Okay. I found what I was looking for. The sorcerers, who are common folks who have been touched by the magic of Feywild, are known to become wild magic sorcerers with unpredictable effects that happen to them every now and then when they spend a spell slot, that can go from the whimsical, the beautiful, to the extremely deadly to them and their party, because rolling a 100 on the wild magic table casts fireball centered on you. The dimension is also known to react to the emotions of the visitors, becoming dark and scary when they're already afraid of something, becoming amazing and whimsical when they're happy and adventurous, and that sort of things. And time is very relative. You might feel like you're experiencing whole days, and sometimes, oftentimes, the moon and the sun will both be in the sky at the same time. Some folks have been known to enter the Feywild for a month and return 10 years later in the time of the prime material plane. Those are some extreme cases. They only come up one every 100 trips to the Feywild, according to the best estimates. Although it is quite possible that the estimates are skewed because of who does and does not return from the Feywild. As you research that stuff in the library, make a perception check for me, please.
Is this gonna be the centaur?
Probably not very good because, let's see. Yeah, that's just a 6.
Okay. Okay. I think with a 6, you're going to notice the shadow of Indominus Chris passing over the sky view that is visible from the library, going out to eat or on errands, and in so you hear the flapping of loud wings, and way in the distance towards you think the walls of Candlekeep, you hear, "Woohoo! Yeah, you're amazing! Step on me, big dragon daddy!"
It's a kobold.
Cool. Rot, could you say again in your own words what you're going to do in preparation for the visit to the Feywild?
Yeah, so I'd like to spend any free time I have, like, meditating in nature.
Nice.
And you gave me a few different locations, and I decided that I'd like to do walking meditations and start in a different area each day.
Okay.
And that I'm also going to shapeshift into animals while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that provides me a little bit of safety.
Yeah.
And I also want to buy some equipment.
Cool. Can you tell me what you? I had suggested you look at the prices, right?
Yeah, actually, so I didn't see either of the things that I wanted on a
Okay.
regular price list.
The magical items, they have basically a range of prices that they could have based on how common and unusual they are. So give me.
I actually don't really want magical items. I
Okay.
just want a map.
Oh yeah, a map of what?
I would like a map of like the Candlekeep grounds
Yes.
and the surrounding areas.
Hell yes. Okay, so
And
we're going to say that canonically you have the map that I made available for all of you.
Yeah. Oh, so
Possible.
I already have that one?
Yes, and you're gonna get like around Candlekeep. There's like a lot of hills leading up to the cliff edge, and beyond that there are forests. Beyond that are the towns, rather small in size and stature and importance to the local economy, politics, and so on. You can get a map of the gardens if you'd like. So you can have a map of Candlekeep, a map of around Candlekeep, and a map of the gardens. You can write this on your character sheet.
I want to buy a magical item, but
Yeah.
How much
something that will
gold?
help me
Yeah.
in my adventure.
Yeah. So you had mentioned the boots of Elvenkind.
Yeah, but because
Yeah.
like I said, I saw them and now some website have listed them at 25.
Yeah. Uncommon magic items. No. Magic items 5. Price. There we go. So they're basically on the price range. You don't really have time to basically go out of town and the shop. The only place that really has magical items where you can find
Bundles,
stuff that
yeah.
you're looking for is really the horde of Dominus Crisp or the things that are around it.
What does that mean?
Sorry, or the things that are around, but the things that are in the school are all in use. It's the ones that are not in use that are in the Dragon's Horde. But you can probably get Boots of Elvenkind. I just need to find. I'm having trouble finding the price list on the internet, so I am going to the source, which is the Dungeon Masters. So needless to say that since you're buying it off of a dragon, it's gonna be in the higher of the price range
No.
of
Yeah.
things,
Money.
right?
I guess I only have 800 gold coins, so
Wait, you have 800 gold coins? How many gold coins do you have?
Remember, we also get an extra 60
Yeah. And you
because it's been 3 weeks.
also got like a ton from Indominus Crisp.
Yes.
From
like 666, I think.
So I have 806 gold
yeah, I
coins.
believe that's the
Not 500.
magic items, rarity. Okay, uncommon. Oh my goodness.
What?
They're so cheap. Okay, you can get the Boots of Elvenkind for 500 gold.
Ooh, yes.
That's cheap?
That's the price of like you sold 3 armors and then divided them by 3 and he gave you a third of the market price. So I am not making a lot of enemies with plate armor anymore. So yeah. The higher level hill.
Oh, I also see why, because I'm looking for through magic items too, and there's different types of alchemy gems.
Oh yeah, I think those are homebrewed or like from later editions. It's the basic ones from the Dungeons Master's Guide that you're able to create right now. But if you want to change your infusion when you level up, I'll let you have the other ones.
Oh, I was considering purchasing them.
Oh
since-
yeah, for sure. Since you can, you can try the different types. If it's uncommon, it's gonna go for 500 gold. That's the upper price range for uncommon items.
Like I said, I think the cloak is like in the
Oh,
I think the cloak is like in a thousand.
These are like
up in a thousand.
The cloak is like what?
Like 1,000 or something. The cloak of Elvenkind.
So if it's rare, it's gonna be 5,000. Right?
Oh.
But if it's uncommon, it's also going to be 500. Yeah. Cool. All right. So you get yourself some boots of Elvenkind. It's pretty easily accessible information to get the maps, which is why I didn't make you do a nature roll, a search check. But I would like for you to make a perception check with advantage, because we're going to consider that meditating and walking around in different beast shapes is your activity in boots.
Okay. Also, I do want to make the clockwork toy watch.
For sure. Cool. I will have that.
So I'm rolling 2 d20s, but I rolled a nat 20. So
Hell yeah!
I don't think I need to do that.
Okay. So, pretty. So like one afternoon, it's gonna be the day. It's gonna be the morning meditation on the day where you are leaving for the Feywild, right?
Okay.
You're wandering around the hills when you hear loud sobbing coming from near the gardens of the school. As you approach, you can see the now familiar faces, because they've been squatting in the school for a little while now, of Toppled and Kubotten. Not middled. In fact, you can see that at their feet is a little bit of dug up dirt, and in the shape and the size of a small kobold. It's a piss poor job, and you still see the red claw and the tip of the beak of a red kobold.
Oh my gosh.
Is he dead?
You were so brave. And you were so good at being the talker at the top, and now it's gonna have to be Cobottom, and he's bad. He only knows common, and he doesn't speak it very well. And the other one is like, that's right, I'm gonna miss you, little brother.
Oh my gosh, you guys, did your brother die?
Yes!
How did that happen?
One day he was there. We went to sleep singing together and getting drunk off of the hooch that we'd been making in the castle cellars, and then the next day he was gone.
You guys have been brewing your own liquor in the castle?
Yes, but that's not what's important.
Is he really dead? Or is he just drunk?
Dead.
Are you sure that he's dead? Maybe he's just hungover and asleep.
No, check the pulse and yeah, his body at the end it wasn't what it used to be when he was
You don't want to check
young.
the body yourself.
Thanks to your perception check, you are able to tell. You're a druid of the Circle of Spores. Your name drops.
Mm-hmm.
Decay is your thing. There's way too many flies around the kobolds. Not that they didn't already have a swarm around them at all times, but the forces of decay have already started on.
So he's
Maybe.
definitely dead. How did he die, you guys? Was it after you guys drank? You think whatever you drank is poisonous?
I don't know for sure. I don't want to talk about it, but this is surely a sign that it is time for us to return home. He would have wanted to be buried here. Why? I don't know. It was convenient and easy to drag him here. Thanks to your natural 20 in perception, you can also see that they have more pouches than you had expected, seeing their travel bag. More bags than expected. It seems like there might have been other bags and pouches in the backpack that they had, and so they have all of them splayed out and a little bit larger and fuller. They have two full backpacks now and different pouches that they're strapping to each other, and they're basically starting to tie straps on each other, climbing onto one another, and their trench coat, now way too small, rubs in the dirt. And as they clasp your hand and say thank you for everything, you're blessed to be friends with two dragonborns, and they will bring you luck. And you work for a dragon, and that is the highest honor any creature can have. And thank you so much for letting us stay this whole time. It's so nice. And as you retract your hand, you feel a copper piece inside.
Okay, I will not let myself be bribed by a copper piece, and I'm gonna ask them how they got all that stuff.
Well, we're very resourceful. You know how we made hooch. Kobolds were known for being able to craft things. You know, like you enter a kobold lair, what you're supposed to watch out for is like all of the traps and stuff. So this whole time we're picking up like twigs and crafting materials and just making like preparations, because we have so much to do now. It's been so nice to talk with you. All right, let's go. And as they turn around, you see that Toppold is struggling with stepping around because that didn't used to be his job, and so the little pair sort of sway more than they should. They Kubotum is like struggling with the black iron gate that leads into the gardens, and because he's like smaller than expected than he used to be. And finally, they unclick the lock open, step inside, lock it back up from the other side, and say, "All right, we'll be leaving the way we came. Have a good day."
And they came through the passageway that we now know exists to the Underdark.
Yes.
I should have asked them about the Underdark.
Why?
What?
I'm just this entire. It's sad, but it's also like.
Was it Comito that passed away?
Huh?
Comito?
Middle.
Middle? Or middle?
So, as you're returning towards your
They stole from me, Dominus Christ.
as you're returning towards the castle, you hear. First, you feel a tremor beneath your feet. Laraz and Darius, you also feel that, and then almost immediately after, coming from deep below your feet, you hear.
I knew it.
I should have stopped then.
You definitely should have. Remember when I told you I was dressed for fancy for a funeral because you might be in danger? I gave you all so many chances. I gave you all a lot of chances to do your job.
Hey, backtrack.
No,
It's
we
too
can't. We can't.
It's too within a short amount of time after this, you hear, all of you, a voice in your head that you hadn't previously heard. You haven't talked to all of the professors yet. But you hear this voice nonetheless that is going to say, hello, my name is Bagel. I'm the divination teacher. Mr. Frisk would like to speak with you in his office. Immediately after that, you're still coming up the hill towards the Candle Keep. You're going to see this pillar of cold air, ice, and intense cold magical energy soar up high above Candle Keep, and it's coming from the bottom of the cliff.
Can I do anything about this? Run?
See, I'm not even sure what they would have taken.
Right after
How?
This happens, you all hear the rest of the message. He asks that you come at your earliest convenience. I'm gonna need.
Convenience means right now.
I'm gonna ask you to place your characters, your character tokens on the map of Indominus Crisp's lair.
I still got my phone.
Yeah.
Do we have to fight a dragon?
I thought the entire thing was for like
Preparation for
the Feywild trip.
I didn't know what I thought. I didn't think anything.
Yeah.
I blacked out.
As you enter,
Oh my god.
so you see cracks in the walls. You see some of the ice that had been here reinforced and stronger than ever. You don't see an ancient white dragon anywhere. What you do see is the divination professor standing in the middle of the room with her eyes behind her back. She always has those white glowing hair and...
You said her eyes behind her back?
Her hands.
Her hands behind her back.
Okay, I was about to be like, wait, do I need to look up? Is this going to be biblically accurate, divination teacher?
Her eyes glow all the time, and and you see that her hair is sort of like billowing above her head, swimming as though she is underwater. I already provided an image. I think that you all got a chance to see. What do your characters do?
What can we do?
I don't even...
The door was already... Oh, sorry. When you arrived at the bottom of the stairs, you noticed the grisly sight. You saw that with the door closed, you see the key lock in which you were lodged the first time you came in here, with a dripping of blood all the way from it that pools at the bottom, and scattered around the puddle are the red scales of a dead kobold.
Oh my gosh.
So
The door opens and closes seemingly by itself.
Okay, we came. We're here.
Oh!
You see,
He got crushed by trying to open the door.
yeah, yeah, he did. So you see,
I'm just...
Harry quit. Harry doesn't want to play anymore.
See, I don't even know what to do with this because it's like...
Professor Bagger beckons you with her hands rather gently, calmly. You've always seen her sort of like imperturbed by things. So she's
It's a calm one, so you gotta be careful of that.
gesturing for you to come over.
I think I'll stay here. You can talk to me here.
Okay.
I don't even... See...
Oh
Okay.
god.
We're gonna talk our way out of this, guys.
I doubt.
As you say this, you hear a voice coming from above you. Indominus Crisp is invisible at the moment, but you can see the claw marks of his claws in the ice above you and the many icicles. He reveals his presence, and he's going to start climbing his way down his door, which means he's about to occupy the space that you're in.
Oh, shit.
Wait, I am just baffled as to exactly what would have happened.
We
Like,
saw him fly away, and then the kobolds went in there, robbed him, and then he came back, and I let them walk away.
Wait, weren't they sleeping in the library?
They were. Do you know where in the library they were sleeping?
Oh god, they stole books. They stole books.
They were in the forbidden magic section. They remember.
See, I didn't know where they were coming from.
Hold on. Let's keep rolling with the scene. Do you move out of the way?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, can we leave the room the other way?
No, the door already closed behind you.
Damn it.
So, do you want to move forward?
I don't even...
Yeah, we got him.
So,
Carrie, do you want to move forward?
I don't... Oh, jeez, I don't... Oh.
Oh, God.
So
Basically.
an ancient white dragon technically has one more square of things, which means he's larger than this, technically. As you move forward, he starts to prowl his way towards you, low to the ground, eyes intense, and he speaks in the angriest voice that you've ever heard in your whole lives. You miserable incompetence. Did you not hear Vesper, my servant, tell you to be on the lookout for spies, specifically creatures like the 2 dragonborns in your party that would be affiliated with dragons? Did you not think it was suspicious that they were coming into this castle under the guise of being dragonborn, trying to fool others as their first method of communicating with others, with the first thing they project? I don't need an answer to this, because I don't read the reports. When I want to know something, I ask the divination teacher. Okay. The divination teacher moves out of the way, and Dominus Crisps moves forward. And he is not slowing his gait just because all of you are present here. Do you move back?
I will move to the side.
Okay. Cool.
Carrie, do you follow us?
As a legendary action, Indominus Crisp is gonna slam the ground with his paw, and you see a crack follow the line of the ground up the wall, and there are stalagmites already prearranged on the 2 sides of the cavern that aren't the path that he's taking. I need you to make a dexterity. Dexterity saving throw, as he does this as a reaction to your movement first, because you were the one who said you wanted to go to the side. The icicles, just her. The icicles are about to fall down.
Okay, I rolled a 16. Dexterity. Yep,
Okay.
a 16.
Dexterity 16. So you are able to evade the icicle on time. They shatter on the ground, spraying sharp shards of ice that you're able to dodge efficiently. But this part of the terrain is no longer accessible. Indominus Crisp moves to 5 feet forwards.
Jeez, so I guess we have no choice but to move back.
Right. You move.
You guys were being cornered. We need to think of something pretty quickly.
I can't think of anything.
You didn't think that they were being suspicious?
I thought they were just being stupid.
No! That was you! He moves forward again.
You walked into that.
Yep.
You see that white arcane energy starts to seep from his mouth as he brings you. As he's here, he's going to rear up on his hind legs, and a blast of breath energy comes out of his mouth, not aimed at you, but over your heads. Immediately, the sea that he's aiming at freezes over and where there were waves getting pushed back by
we just chase him down.
and where there were waves, they got pushed back, creating large icicles and an unpractical terrain in a sort of explosion. And he keeps moving forward. So you were at the edge of there when this happens. Do you want to do anything else?
Go for it.
I really can't think.
I want to yell out. Indominus Mercy, please. We'll fix this. We'll fix this. Come
I'm
us what's
sorry.
happened.
Are you trying to interrupt my monologue? Don't you know it's rude to interrupt someone who is actively expanding the number of seconds you have left to live?
Isn't that usually the villain's role?
He moves forward.
Oh god.
Now, you are not fired yet because because it is very difficult to get a team of adventurers to volunteer to come to the Feywild and protect young adults not fully versed in magic on such a short notice. But you better pray that you do something very heroic during your 1 month school trip, or the headmaster will have no choice but to expel you. I will go after the kobolds, but don't worry. If you're afraid you might miss the sight of an ancient dragon flying and hunting down 3 miserable creatures, you'll get to see that on the day that you are fired. Do y'all move back on this platform?
Do we have a choice?
He says yes and no.
I need to know if you're trying to climb the icicles, if you're trying to use a magical item, if you're doing anything in this moment. You feel in danger, but you just got the reassurance that you are going on that school trip.
So we won't die yet.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay
I think I'm just
off
gonna-
of the train.
Stay out of the
Yes.
train? Cool. Let's make a contested athletics check.
Okay.
To
Everybody?
everybody who's trying to stay, he's making a shove attack.
He's shoving. Okay, so we're dodging.
It's basically a contested
kinda good.
athletics check to try to push back against being shoved. Okay.
It's an athletics check?
Yes, I have plus 10 athletics, and I rolled a 15. So the difficulty you need to beat is a 25. You probably need to roll 20 to.
I won't get it anyways, because even if I do get a 20.
No. A natural 20 is a natural success, no matter what.
Oh, okay.
I rolled an 8.
Please let it be a 20.
Nope, it was not
7.
funny.
You're all pushed back.
7 plus 4.
You're all pushed back on the pillar of ice.
Why? What does he want from us?
See, I think he just want to. I might just want to scare the shit.
Well, it's working.
I am going now. You better work really hard on the next 3 months. You see he starts to unfurl his wings. He starts flapping them. He digs his claws deep into the ice at your feet.
Oh, God.
And says as he takes off, "Until then, you're on thin ice!" And he breaks off this little iceberg from the cave and takes off flying.
And
Oh my
I
god.
fall down to the ground. Oh, my knees.
Can we swim?
Good, no way.
Alright, let's take a short break.
There's 12 minutes to be exact left.
I don't.
Restart. Okay. All of your characters are now on a broken piece of ice. You got pushed back from the cave by the beating of Indominus Crisp's wings. So I want everybody to roll a luck check to see how big the ice section that you're on is, and if you roll above, let's say a 10, you can have your piece of ice connected to one of the other players.
Okay, everybody roll
What
over
happens if that
10.
person rolls low?
Then they're connected, but they're
I'm not connected to anybody.
I rolled a 16 again.
6.
nice. Okay.
I also rolled a 6.
Dang,
Cool.
you guys.
Let's see.
So nobody's connected.
No. let's see. How do I want to do this? Okay. Who do you want to be connected with?
So we're not on the same ice.
No. Who
Pieces.
do you want to? You because you rolled 16, you can connect to one of the two.
Where, like, what is our?
You're basically on. You're basically on blocks of ice floating. Like we're rolling to determine if you're close to each other before we position the tokens.
That
Right now.
works.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
And I didn't even get to do the shopping you said I could do.
Oh, sorry. I thought we did do.
Oh yeah, we did.
No.
Like there was a small section for that.
Yeah.
But
No, Rot did shopping.
Huh? Yes. Do you?
I also did some shopping.
There was a moment where I was sort of like expecting that
Especially-
you would speak up if you needed to buy anything. So let's do that now.
Yeah, I was still looking through everything.
Yeah, 'cause I-
Well, no,
Look at my
because
boots.
what I got thrown off by is I had said that, and I had asked about like time passage in the Feywild
Yeah, and then you
because
got,
I was
yes.
familiar with that
Yes.
trope, and I was like, okay, are we go? Is it one of those like the Feywild trip is going to take you know months in the 3 months in the Feywild, but basically be spring break?
Tell you what, you can look for what you want to buy, and we can say that you bought it retroactively, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I think this this scene we don't need to like stop this scene to do shopping. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So I'm just gonna roll a luck check. You're 1, 2, and he's 3, 4. So your 2 ice cubes are connected. You have about 10 feet radius. No, sorry, 10 feet diameter block of ice that you're able to step on. The sea near the cliffs has some pretty huge waves. All around you, the breath weapon has struck undersea animals, killing a lot of them, they're turning the section of the sea that is around the ice crimson, and a few birds that were hit by the dragon's breath fall from the sky and shatter on the ice or the surface of the water into crimson particles of bird.
Oh god. I thought
So
we were gonna die there.
now I would like an acrobatics check. Let's say difficulty 10 to stay on the blocks of ice that you're on.
Oh, they rolled a 13.
Okay.
Wait, with athletics? Yeah, 13.
16 plus acrobatics.
11.
18.
Okay. 18, 11,
13.
and 13. Okay, cool. You all stay on your blocks of ice. You realize very quickly that you might not be high enough in the high enough, close enough to the poles for that to be natural. But this is some Leonardo DiCaprio water right there in Titanic. You don't want to fall.
It's cold.
Yeah, you don't want to fall in there. Cool. So, from afar, what's her name? The divination teacher is going to cast bless on all of you, meaning that for I believe it's skill checks and okay.
But this time our HP is back up to full, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You dodge all of the stalactites and all of the and didn't trigger any of the other things that could have hurt you in this encounter. You're not out of the waters yet. Get it? Okay, so whenever you make an attack roll or a saving throw, okay. So yeah, when you make a saving throw, you can add a d4. Okay. So yeah, she's blessing all of you, and just with a single wave of her hand, gestures for you to come closer. Very much the same gesture that she used to entice you into the dragon's lair earlier.
So, is there a shore?
Yes.
There's a
Well,
shore.
there's the cavern,
Uh-huh.
and then it's like cliff sides for as far as your eyes can see. Right now you're surrounded by waves and chunks of ice, so as far as you can see, it's not super far, but your options are mostly back into the cavern.
That's it. Okay.
I mean, the cliff walls are climbable, but they're
Well,
rough.
Okay.
I'm picturing basically chalk cliffs. So they're white. They have lots of like handles, but they're made out of a very brittle stone that you don't want to put all of your weight on.
first of all, we need to get Casares close to us.
Okay.
So, can I tie? Can I tie some?
She's eating the tennis ball. So and that unless if it's a puppy tennis ball, it's not healthy for him to eat that.
I mean, it's a dog toy.
It's a dog toy. Oh, then it should be not too bad for his stomach.
I'm still taking the big thing off.
Okay.
Okay, so can I tie a rope to an arrow and try to shoot it across
Sure.
to Casares?
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Not actually hit him, or
yeah.
or the ice just
It's
close enough.
It's just a difficulty 8, and you have bless, so you add a d4 to that.
6,
Oh my gosh.
7, 8. No,
No.
7.
Aw.
7 plus your modifier for
Oh, sweet.
attack, I think is a +4.
Yes, +1.
So what's your total?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11, cool. Stunk, the crossbow bolt fixes itself right between your legs. I make whoever tries to pull the rope can make an athletics check to not slip into the water while exerting so much force against the
I'll
current.
do it.
It can be you as well, but
I
I
think
don't
he has the highest athletics.
I don't think you are.
Athletics for me is +4.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
And what's the difficulty?
I'm gonna say 12 to not fall into the waters.
20!
Nice.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you bring Xaris over, and thanks to your natural 20, you're able to get you get basically a chunk of ice that's heading back towards the cliff, stuck in the rope while you're pulling him. So you're much closer to the shore now. You might be able to jump, or you might be able to swim, but you're still like off of not exactly in front of the cliffside.
I have a crazy idea.
There's also the waves are large enough that they lap into the mouth of the cavern.
So we're heading that way already. But I have this crazy idea.
Yeah.
I have the flying broom.
Oh yeah, for
We
sure.
could tie the rope to the broom and you can pull us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking, or just like hold it and use it as like a jet engine to pull our ice things in. But I don't know. That idea is good too.
So, you're gonna roll Arcana for this unusual use of magic, and whoever is holding on to the rope on the other side is gonna roll Athletics. I will allow the help action to be used for both of those, for either of those.
Okay, and wait, hold up.
You said athletics check?
Yeah,
Oh,
athletics.
stop it,
I'm
you.
good.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you, Xaris, do you want to provide the help action to either of them?
Oh, it's safe.
I will provide the help action to the Arcana check, because I have the highest Arcana skill.
Cool. Hell yes. So you roll with advantage. I think it's
I rolled a 20.
Nice, excellent. So I needed one of you to pass the difficulty that was 14 to sort of.
Good, because I would not have passed that at 9.
You might have needed to call upon your eagle for the help action.
Yeah.
So you you're able to follow the lift of a wave while you're heading upwards, and Luraza like grabs Xaris and they sort of like jump together. They would not have made it far. They would have fallen into the water and taken cold damage if you hadn't been there. But you're like so fast and at such a good angle with the broom that everybody gets to shore unharmed.
Yay!
Without any exhaustion from coming down here. I need everybody
We're
to
scratch free except for mental scarring.
Emotional pain.
I was fully expecting for Feywild type mental scarring.
Me too! I thought we were gonna be chased by a giant creature. like an avatar.
The day is
You're very much trying to avoid something that will have to be censored off of YouTube.
Yeah.
the day is still young.
And what did you set your roll for?
Perception.
12
12
plus 13.
12 plus 13. That's
18.
Okay. You notice a length of rope to the side of the cliff edge that goes up the side of the cliff face. You notice that it stops being a rope pretty early on, and that it's blankets tied together, clearly stolen from the school, and you realize that a medium creature would have trouble climbing up something like this without untying it because it's such a long rope. But 2 kobolds who are still alive, they might be able to bring some treasure back up from up that rope.
While dragging their dead brother?
No, their brother died trying to go in through the lock.
Yeah, so the body was still the body was mostly outside of the lock.
Yeah.
So they only had to climb up the stairs for that. And if any of the magical items was a bag of holding, then it was weightless.
But
I was also thinking of buying a bag of holding, but I was like, I'll buy that next time.
Okay.
Because right now the bag of I don't have a use for a bag of holding. That's up yet. It's the bag of holding.
See, now I'm wishing that jug of coffee was a jug of Irish coffee.
Bagheer. Your current alchemy job can produce alcohol of different sorts. I wouldn't. Well, Carl might have something to say about employees being intoxicated on the job, but Carl doesn't need to know.
Unless he talks to a divination teacher.
I mean, what kind of school rules are we using? Apparently, like old Cambridge rules were that you could be provided a cask of beer for your test.
For your test?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, the student that dug up that old rule, they decided to instead cite him for not bringing a sword.
Stop!
I'm not joking.
That's great. We're not using the Cambridge rules then. Cool.
Like, I have a sword. I have a dagger. Does that count?
Teacher Bagheer walks towards you and says, "You are all safe and well, as I had predicted."
For now.
Sure you did.
Yes.
I thought I was gonna die.
Well, I predict that you will be late to leave if you don't go back up the stairs in the next 2 minutes. But until then,
Oh, you predict we're gonna be late if we don't go up the stairs in 2
Alright.
minutes. We better
Yeah,
go then,
we
guys.
leave. But can I have my eagle trying to tear down the rope before anything?
Yeah. Your eagle goes up, ties down the rope, and about 100 white bed sheets that belong to the school fall into the waters, all staining them with salt water and blood.
Yay!
Good job.
Oh well.
Alright.
Oh, I could have told you that was gonna happen.
This divination teacher.
I was hoping you would kind of like drag the rope.
You still can.
Um,
Some parts of it are still are still like
you know what?
within reach.
They can still be washed. So yeah. As we're heading out, I just drag it along with me.
You're gonna be dragging a lot of like soggy cloth back up the stairs.
At least we have a decanter of endless water.
And I'm sure that somebody can think of that.
Here's the thing. It's one of we don't have a decanter of endless water anymore. It's one of the things the kobold stole.
You gotta be freaking kidding me!
It was one of the lowest hanging fruits. You have to admit.
Because it was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
What else did the kobolds do?
A bunch of books and some stuff from Crisp's lair.
Please don't let it be important books.
Bagheer actually, like when you ask volunteers the information, and says a couple of items that Mr. Crisp holds dear, but that he would not want knowledge of to spread.
Okay, so.
It is his collection of J-pop idols.
But magic.
Magical J-pop idols.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Alright, guys, let's head back up the stairs and
Let's
connect with
go to the Feylands and hopefully we won't screw this up.
Bagheer says, I will walk first in case I do not want to be in the back in case one of you slips.
Oh god.
in case one of us
Is
slips.
it gonna be me just fucking carrying everything?
I'll go up the stairs first.
I understand that this may be that this encounter might have frazzled you a little bit. If you,
Yeah, you got that.
I'm sorry that this happened to you. If you want to, if I can provide with something now, I would like to, but otherwise.
How about common motion?
Yeah. She places her hand on your shoulder and says, breathe. Breathe. She doesn't cast anything, but she.
Just trying to help you through.
Oh, you see that like she reaches into her robes and says, "That's something that can help." Here, have some.
I would take that.
Why not?
So,
How are you doing it around?
divination teacher, can she give us a word of advice for our trip in the Feywild?
How would you ask that from
Anything we should look out for
Bagheer?
while we're in the Feywild?
Yeah.
Feywild?
Could you ask the powers that you communicate with for a word of advice while we're in the Feywild?
Yes. The best advice I can give is to be careful of everything.
Can you ask them to give us helpful advice? We already know that about the Feywild.
Anything more specific would be welcome.
It's like, yeah, it's the Feywild. Of course, be careful of everything.
You should ensure that the students are kept safe, as that is your job, and currently your capacity to do your job correctly directly correlates with your ability to avoid fire and the other consequences that will follow. She casts a little spell and says, some fairies follow certain rules and there are certain politeness that needs to be known. Three things, three pieces of advice for the three of you. Don't step into rings of mushroom for anything that, or circles of stones, for anything that is inside there belongs to the to the Fae or Archfey who rule over the area. Don't eat fairy food unless it is explicitly offered, and offer something in exchange for the food. And last of all, do not. You may speak your name to fey creatures, but you must be careful not to give them your name.
How can I speak our name without giving it?
If they ask you, can you give me your name? And you acquiesce, they will carry your name for you. It can steal your identity.
Oh.
They will know your social security number and your address.
So we should introduce ourselves, basically saying, before they ask for our name?
That's correct.
Okay. After we ask for their name.
We are over time. You might want to run up the stairs.
Oh God. Oh.
Okay.
I thought we were walking up the stairs. We were talking.
Oh yeah. She as this is happening, she warns you a little bit too late, anyways.
Because we're already with.
Oh.
And remember, whatever will happen. You will live out the experiences of your lives, and when your time comes, you will die. And that is the truest prediction that has ever been spoken.
Why are you gonna tell us this as we're heading over here?
You're running up the stairs, so you hear her, like, she's not speaking very loudly, so you'll hear her voice less and less as you're going up those spiral staircases until you're in the central courtyard. There you can see that Professor Prost has assembled his students. You see that about like 7 of them are like standing at attention, wearing the same green uniform that he is, with less paraphernalia on it, and that a few of the other students are just sort of like standing there with bags of different kinds, provisions, large water sacks, piles of rations. You can each write 42 rations on your character sheet.
42.
32. Yeah, you already had some from character creation. They might not be explicitly written.
No, because they're in the backpack. I think they're inside my backpack.
So you can look it up on your phone to see how many you had. It changes depending on whether you have a burglar's pack, adventurer's pack, explorer's pack, that sort of thing.
I have an explorer's pack. I would like to at this time pull out my watch and put it on and make sure that it's
not my
set
brother's pack, it's not my
to
backpack.
the time that we have currently here on this plane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You set your watch.
5 days ration.
Okay, you have 5 days ration.
So 32 plus 5?
Yes. Yes.
I'm just gonna write it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a sticky note to all the things I'm adding here.
All right. Attention students, security team. We are about to enter the Feywild. I've given all of you homework to prepare yourselves from this, but expect being surprised anyways. I've already scouted the area. There are only some small ruins where the where Candlekeep stands in our dimension, and the cliffs are very similar, although there is more shrubbery and high and grass higher than all of you in certain places. This area should be perfect. We should be able to see any enemies oncoming. Nevertheless, always stay near a member of the staff. Don't lose sight of them. We'll establish a camp with some basic defenses, latrines, tents, everything. So be prepared to set this up as soon as we arrive. Any questions? One of the students raises his hand. It's this like student that has like 2 heads taller than everybody else around him, including the Dragonborns, who asks like if it's too late to back out of the school trip. And Pross says, yes, it is too late. He casts a spell, and a green portal, perfectly round, appears in the courtyard. And it's like the surface of water that is rippling, gives you an image, sort of looking at a painting of exactly what Professor Prost described. A couple of ruins here and there that follow the walls of Candlekeep. A plain empty except for 5 centaurs that are galloping it. The cliffs are behind you. Maximilian Prost strides confidently forwards, and
We follow suit.
cool.
Yep.
All right.
I look around and it's my first time here in
Can I ask Pross for like a total student count, like a total head count when we get there?
We have 30 students with us, and he's got a list that you can check and recheck. Y'all are also on that list, and so is he. As y'all step inside, I'm gonna need Rot and Luraza to make a Constitution saving throw. You still have less on you, so you have an extra D4, but the difficulty is 15. Constitution saving throw.
Just to
Why?
be clear, that morning I did resummon my familiar as a thing.
As a Fae. Excellent. Why? Did you take a hit from the dab pen of the teacher or no?
Yeah, am I rolling too?
Yeah, you're rolling too.
Oh God! Why?
It's not poison. It's just that you're slightly on drugs, and that if there's 2 effects that are going to take place. So
Oh Jesus!
13 plus what?
Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
I rolled a 20.
Constitution.
You rolled a 20. Okay, cool.
14.
Your high doesn't get stronger or weirder. You roll
A 14.
14. Okay, you failed. Make so your high gets stronger. Your irises dilate, and you start to see things moving at the edge of your vision that were not moving that were not moving before, and you start to see things.
Somebody cast Healing Word on me.
Healing Word restores HP.
I know. I'm just.
I need. Did you roll the extra D4 for
No.
less?
No.
Okay, then you are not affected because the minimum of D4 is a 1 and you had 14.
Yay!
Carrie.
Oh, so
I got a 23.
Okay, cool. All right. None
I'm
of
like
you-
that. It's like that vape pen wasn't shit.
No, but I
I
think
you
that
kind of felt funny stepping through.
I was like, oh no, almost. I just prefer to roll the extra D.
Cool. Because none of you failed, none of you need to
Oh
make
yeah,
a
actually with the bless it's 27.
Charisma?
a charisma saving throw. Because if here, if you're under an intense emotion or an unusual and
It changes
intoxicated
the
state,
environment.
you
Why
can
did we
influence the
do
environment around you.
Kind of like the spirit world from Korra.
Yeah, like very much like the spirit
Okay.
world from Korra. Probably not to the same extent.
But similar-ish.
So we have to roll charisma now?
No, that's
Yeah.
if he failed.
Oh, if we fail.
As you step, you step in here. Some of the trees that were in the School of Candlekeep are in the same places, but here they're like larger, taller, made out of more pastel colors than what you're used to. Full of fruits and flowers. A lot of those trees have different colors for their very flowers, and sometimes their leaves go into brighter colors that are not green. High above you, you see creatures flying that at first look like birds, but then have one or two wings extra. Some of them look like small pseudo dragons, you do notice that as Maximilian enters, the walls that are around Candlekeep, that were ruins a second ago, sort of materialize around it as a wall of vines and plants that is thick enough to block sight for outside of the perimeter of Candlekeep.
Oh,
So we're in the Feywild,
Yeah.
but inside the courtyard of Castle Keep.
Yeah, basically, like this dimension is a reflection of the prime material world, right? So the setup, the layout is the same. You're on hills, you're on a cliff. There's forests in the distance. The ruins have the same configuration of buildings as Candlekeep.
Okay, but
And the trees are in the same place, but just large walls have made out of plants have just propped up all around the.
where the walls of Camp Keep would have been.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was a confusing part. I was like, what?
The students start unpacking, making like a few of them start to set up their tents. You see that as they do so, Prost sort of like watches over their activities, and every now and then, when one of his uniformed students looks at him, he gestures with his head to another student, and they go and help him or redirect them from setting up their tent to setting up defenses, a sort of like small basically like a military camp. They're setting up a without any trees. They start to chop down some of the trees to sort of like make them into like a wall of spikes that sort of like is all around your small encampment. What are your characters going to like? Prost doesn't give any orders. But you still see that like through his students with uniforms, he's able to like communicate with simple gestures and like movements of his head, what he needs done. Yes.
I guess I'll use my hawk to really get like a bird's eye view of the whole area, surrounding area first.
Frost also gets his tent set up first, which is going to be at the center of the camp, and is definitely larger and more expensive than the ones that the student brought.
Of course. Wait, do we have tents?
Yes.
Okay.
They're part of your.
Explorer pack.
You might not have tents. You might have sleeping bags, but the school provided you with tents.
Okay.
No, nothing really stands out to your characters in the decor around you. See a few curious pixies come over to speak with you. More like to observe and giggle at you. Yeah.
I'm just gonna set up my tent and get my stuff all set up.
So I haven't seen nothing with my hawk.
Okay. Oh, bird's eye view with your
Yeah.
hawk. Cool. You're able to transport your senses into the hawk. You're able to see that through the portal. You're able to see that there's a large illusion outside of the walls of where you are. Once your bird flies over the walls, the illusion that this environment is serene sort of stops because you are able because your bird is able to see that there is a large group of fairy creatures set up in a military camp, almost as far as the eye, almost as far as the forests, all fluttering banners of a toothed creature with blood dripping down its mouth. They seem to be under a sort of like protection so that the army's movements and camping position are not discovered. So there's this large-scale illusion that is showing just empty plains where, in fact, there is something.
So are they surrounding us?
They don't surround the place per se, but they have a couple that are they have like 10 guards that are at the canopy gate. You also spot that where the conjuration classroom is, there's a little bit of a dip in the ground. You're able to see that there are a couple of creatures there. I'm gonna show the images to y'all. So if you can pull up the Google Drive folder. So you're able to see 5 satyrs sort of like sitting in.
Where did you put them in the drive folder?
I haven't done so yet. Give me just 1 second. Dons and Deans. Characters. Okay, there we go. It's not staff, it's others. So you're able to see an exasperated half orc who's missing an arm in front of a whiteboard, trying to explain things to five satyrs in school chairs with the little desk that curves from the chair that are paying absolutely no attention and very often crumple up pages that they have and throw it at the teacher.
This is Rother Baston.
Hmm?
This is Rother Baston.
I don't. No, it's not. I don't think it's in the folder yet. I just need to. Oh, there we go. D&D.
I can't see it.
No. Dorms. No, I haven't put it up yet. So.
Oh, okay.
We all jumping the gun, all of us.
Well, you said it's gonna be in the folder.
Yeah. I announced it too soon, I think. Oh, so it is Antonio Fibonacci in the Dorms and Teens folder, and the satyrs are. I prepared a little bit, but not necessarily enough. Give me just 1 second. I was so excited for the dragon scene. I didn't. I forgot to upload the pictures of the 5 satyrs. Where did I put the page that has all of their names?
It's a one.
You rolled a 1.
Okay.
Good thing. Get it out of your system now before we're actually playing.
So you can roll for insight if you want to know a little bit about those characters.
17.
But you're gonna have this. You've got a falcon or an eagle with keen sight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In this case, you have disadvantage. Your disadvantage is compensated by your keen sight. That gives you advantage on sight checks. So through your familiar's eyes, you zoom in, and you're going to see that
Because yeah, it was 17 plus. It was inside, right?
Yeah, insight.
Yeah, it's 20.
You're going to see that the satyrs are not malicious, but they are systemic in how they prank the teacher and do their best to be bad students on purpose.
So are they doing it to our teachers or to them?
Oh,
They're half-orc teachers.
there's only one teacher. It's the half-orc. Yeah, I uploaded them. They have their names already, but you don't know their names yet.
And this is one of our staff?
No, it's a half-orc that you haven't encountered yet.
He's got jewels in his skin.
Huh?
He's got jewels in his skin.
He's wearing this blue and orange uniform with moon shapes and snowflake shapes on it, he casts a couple of cantrips, well aimed attack cantrips that miss the satyrs to try to catch their attention, but they only redouble their efforts to ignore him.
Little rascally little satyrs.
Shits.
Little satyrs.
They have because they're out of line of sight, because they're basically in a dip in the ground, and y'all and there's a hill between y'all. You haven't spotted them. They're inside the perimeter of the school.
So is this the Feywild's teacher?
I mean, he's a half orc, so he's probably from our end of things.
Yeah, half orcs are native to the prime material.
Oh, okay.
And he's teaching satyrs.
Or
Trying
to teach satyrs, which, given what I know about like how these sorts of things usually go, I wonder whether or not he's trapped here.
Yeah.
Because like if they're giving him trouble on purpose, this could be some sort of like, Fey type,
Trick.
prank thing on him where, he's trapped in here and it's like, oh, you're a teacher. Well, we're going to have you teach us and then be the worst students possible.
Is it?
So are they trapped so everyone who's in the perimeter of the school right now is like trapped in here, right?
Well, there's a
kind of
wall
stuff.
around, but the wall isn't so high that it's not climbable.
Okay.
They don't seem like you don't know if they're unaware of the army standing at their gates,
Also,
or
this
if.
one I don't
Yes.
think we
But they're-
know about
they're-
either,
they're
'cause
not,
this is
like,
all being
worried.
seen through his eagle's
Is it
eyes.
safe to approach him?
So you're the only one who knows that this is going on because you're the one connected to the
Yeah.
eagle.
Can I see? Can I bet to be safe to approach?
They don't seem harmful. You don't see.
Oh gosh.
You don't see weapons. They have musical instruments.
I guess with that I cut off the connection and tell him what I saw.
Okay, cool. Prost immediately says, "I will stay here with the students and ensure that everyone is fine. You go and talk to the satyrs, establish contact, and establish threat levels."
Alright,
Right,
then.
then.
Let's go.
Does Prost know that there was already an army of whatever they are?
He didn't tell you that in the briefing.
Does he know now?
They're sprites, centaurs, pixies, and a lot of bokoblins and hobgoblins, which are taller, purple-skinned versions of the bokoblins.
There's those? What do you mean there's those?
Huh? Oh, all of those are the members of the army that sits outside the gates.
Okay.
Of the canopy.
Okay.
No.
So he knows about it then.
He didn't
He didn't tell you anything about that.
Okay. I feel like we should inform him. Prost.
Well, we did. We told him
Oh.
everything.
Yeah. He thinks about it for a second and says, "Well, if we ever get into let's keep everyone close so that we can make an expeditious retreat if there's ever a problem." As your party moves towards the group of satyrs, you're gonna be stopped by a rising wall of vines and thorns, very similar to the one that is around the place, that sort of like props up as you get closer in this sort of like half dome shape. So it only really appears in proximity to you. What do you do?
There's a way around it.
Okay. You walk around it and you realize that those walls follow the contour, the shapes of the buildings that are in Candlekeep, but that the buildings only really appear when somebody is there to interact with it.
Oh,
So it's the same map layout.
Yeah, the map layout is the same. It's just that the buildings are not visible, like aren't there until you get there. The doors are in similar places.
So that's why it looks like they're just sitting in a depression of land, but once we get close enough, it's gonna look like they're in a classroom.
They're not near any of the walls of their classroom, but when you get close enough, they prop up with a door.
So does this happen to them too, or just to us?
It happens to everyone when they get close to the different.
I guess
You see the students back at the camp are experiencing the same thing, because they're starting to scout just a little bit. A lot of them are sending their familiars, and when the familiars get close, the walls appear for them as well.
Alright.
But
So since I have my handy dandy map here, we should be able to find our way through this type of maze pretty easy.
For sure. You enter the building itself, and it shapes itself around you, forming even a ceiling in rooms that have those. There are more twisting passageways, dead ends, and others than there are in the actual buildings of Candlekeep. But let's make a survival check.
Oh god.
For y'all to make your way.
Oh wait, that's not.
Where you're
Oh yeah. Why is it +1?
Magic.
19! Yay!
Nice.
Oh gosh.
Plus
I
one
rolled
is
a
20.
3.
You rolled a
Plus
3.
4 is 7.
Okay. So that's a
I
failure.
rolled a 13.
Cool. So
But
that's
my
it.
+1 is 20. Yay, I live.
So when the party gets more successes than failures, it's a success.
Whew.
You're able to make it into the classroom. The saviors turn around, see you, and say, "Guest, we have guests!" And they immediately scramble off of their chairs to come towards you, and they say, "Oh, can you give me your name? Oh, where are you from? Hi, my name is Waters. I'm Light." They introduce themselves. So there's Kite, Horse, Noon, Waters, and Light.
Kite, horse, noon, water, and light.
And this is our teacher, Antonio Fibonacci. He's awesome. He knows so
They
much
have his
stuff.
name.
They have his name.
Can you give me your name?
I can't give it to you.
That savior comes over and like ruffles your hair and says, "Oh, we got a smart one, yes!"
I suppose I now have hair in the Feywild.
Ruffles your skins. Like basically gives you a little scritcher like you would give.
I mean, I don't know how surreal this is going to get. We almost had biblically accurate divination teacher before we even got into the Feywild.
Yeah. You see that a couple of them start like picking flowers and sort of like without really like asking, start to try to like braid your hair. Y'all don't have hair, but they try to like place those little flowers in your pockets and
Wait, these are gifts.
and stuff like this.
These are considered. These can be considered gifts.
I'm
What's
sure
against this?
I'm sure they could be considered gifts.
The divination teacher didn't really say anything about gifts, just fairy food.
Fairy food.
So
Yeah.
I want to approach the.
What should we call you?
What should you call us?
Yes.
Well, I'm Zares, and
You just gave
I mean,
No. He didn't. They didn't ask. They stopped asking him to give his name and just said, "What should we call you?" So he's actually fine in this
Mhm.
instance.
I still haven't answered anything yet.
yes.
What?
I'm
You?
You may call me Laraz.
Laraza? Okay.
You can call me Rod.
You see that Antonio sort of like drops the cane he was using to present stuff on the whiteboard, starts to use it to walk towards you, defeated at the idea that this class is not going to continue. It's fully interrupted.
You want to deeply apologize to him.
Yes, we're quite sorry for interrupting your class.
You need not worry about that. The class was already well interrupted.
You might want to be aware that there's definitely one other major interruption and potentially another nearby.
Is that the noises we heard coming over from there? We did see you walk here. Well, I did because I was turned towards you.
Yes. We've just come through with a class from Candlekeep.
Okay. So, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Fun.
You still have bless, so you still have an extra d4.
Okay. 12.
Okay. So a flower that Kite put on you, put in your clothes, grows, turns towards you, and emits a fart, fully with the flower opening to reveal a butthole, with the smell.
Can I, as soon as I see that, slowly remove my flower?
Yes. As you
witness.
As you do this, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. So you're not affected by the fart, which would have
17.
17? Hell yes. So you're not affected by one of the flowers given to you by Noon starts to sprout glitter, and just like just a whiff of it makes you feel slightly sleepy, and but you're able to take it off on time.
I'm taking mine off too.
Yeah.
They just braided my hair. Did they give me flowers?
Yeah, they put some flowers in your hair.
Okay, I'm getting rid of my flowers.
stuff
man.
like that.
I mean, you could probably just make the flowers wither.
Yes, with Droid Crowd, that's a thing. For sure.
Oh, yeah, with my droid craft, I'm gonna make the flowers withered.
Cool.
It's like, no.
Nope.
You're able to all of you. I would like all of you to make an insight check for me, please.
Oh joy.
These satyrs.
13 plus 16. I got a 16.
16? Oh yes. You see that the satyrs are slightly
15.
They're okay.
I rolled in 23.
Nice. Okay. All of you are able to spot the following. The satyrs are the ones who pulled the prank and failed to affect any of you. Look disappointed for a second, but the smile comes back on, and they're on to something else. All right, let's take a break.
Serious.
Yeah. Before the break, just one last thing. With your 23, you notice that they are there's almost a desperation in how hard they're trying.
Oh, okay.
They're all smiles. But there's a bit of sweat on some of their brows. There's a little bit of they're putting effort into it and doing their best to make it funny.
Oh,
That's
so
really hard to.
And
We are.
you see that you hear the door lock behind you. Well, not locked, but closed behind you, as one of the satyrs says, "Oh, I'm gonna go say hello." Meanwhile, Antonio says, "Can see that you're aware of some of the rules of the Feywild about not giving your name and not eating fairy food and."
Wait, one of the satyrs ran out of the room, and they're gonna go
Yeah.
talk to
Yeah.
the students.
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Which one of us wants to run after?
Yeah, well, someone needs to go stop him.
Cool. So,
wanna
everybody
stay and
make a perception check. The difficulty for one aspect is 15, the other difficulty is 20. Oh, geez.
9.
Well, no. I was completely oblivious. I rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
9, 10.
10? Okay.
Wait, is it which done that way?
It's not for skill checks that you.
Oh, okay.
Bless doesn't work on skill check.
12.
Okay, cool. Carrie, you rolled the natural 1. You turn around. You don't. It doesn't connect with you on top.
It's fine.
Oh.
It doesn't connect with you on time that you heard the door closed, because and that right now the door is open. You're walking to the fields, to the corridors that lead to the field. You're able to see it in the distance because the walls haven't formed fully yet. And as you do, you collide with the door that a satyr just painted a Looney Tunes tunnel version of the in front of. The door was closed, and you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as your nose gets and from beneath your feet you hear and the satyrs go yes, and they all high five. Who was it? Kite. Kite is the one who painted the thing that you just and like grab Kite, put him on their shoulders, and he did it, he's the best, he did it, woo! And like
What's going on?
Kite stands on top of his school chair and says, I couldn't have done it without you. I want to thank my fans. And like the other four are like, woo! Sorry, the other three. One is still like heading out. So, which one of you is following?
Should we rock, paper, scissors for it?
I kind of want to stay and talk to the teacher.
You want to stay and talk to the teacher?
I'm curious.
I mean, I apparently was going to and got smacked right in the face by a door painted like the outside.
I'm gonna go out and try and chase this guy down.
Cool. You open the door.
The real door.
Head through. You have the map. You're able to like move around the fastest route. And
There wasn't another door behind the door, was there?
There like he didn't have time to set that up, so like it wasn't like didn't get the chance to make it so complicated.
Door.
And like the door closes and Kite says, "What the hell did she do that for?" And like he walks towards the closed door and just passes through it, entering it like it is actually empty.
I'm just.
I can't do it. So did I intercept this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so am I bringing him back?
Yeah. It's the one who's called Horse. You see that like as you're catching him, he stopped behind one of the walls that he materialized with his presence, and he's like putting on like long yellow boots, a large like bright yellow pants. He sees you and he's gonna take them down and put them back in his little sack, and says, Rot, right?
That's
You-
right.
Yeah, you give me your name.
No.
Oh,
Hey man, what was the yellow suit about?
oh, it's a disguise.
It's a disguise.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, your buddy's back at the classroom.
Yeah.
They were able to make that person or that dude laugh without you. So like,
Oh man,
you
that's
should
so-
probably
what'd you do?
you should probably come back with me. We can check it out together.
Was it the paints and the illusions?
It was the paints and the illusions.
Classic.
So you want to like
you
come
see-
back with me and you can tell me what this is all about. We might be able to
Why?
make them laugh again.
Listen, I think I got a shot right here.
You got a shot right here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you don't because I can't let you interact with those kids right now. So
I'm sorry. This is very early on in our relationship, and I just met you, but you're leaving me no choice. We got a party pooper here. And you see a couple of the flowers that are around you like turn and fart on you.
cool.
You know what, you can just
You see that like Prost notices what is happening, and he's watching over the students. He's like trusting you to take care of this.
Satyr.
situation.
Okay, so
So hold on. You're talking
When-
to Kite.
I'm talking to a horse.
You're talking to Horse. Hell yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. It's the one that has a full mutton chops, a staff in a little bag. Cool. What's
I have to bring him back.
you have to? No, you don't have to.
I do.
Wait. Fine, but listen, you're gonna get yourself a little bit of a reputation as a party pooper.
Man, I'm not pooping on the party. I'm just wanting us to go back and join the rest of the party. They're partying way harder than we are because they've already got them to laugh, and we haven't got them to laugh yet. So
You can make a persuasion check.
I'm just trying to get them to go. Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
You failed.
Yeah, I rolled a 5.
Listen, I can't. Listen, it's always the first interaction. Like they're not they're gonna think I'm dangerous and stuff. They're not gonna expect something funny, and then it's gonna really break the ice. You know, we can establish like good relationships, and because they're not expecting it, it's more likely to be really funny. Like you know those pranks where you're like walking around and there's a baby with a stroller and a mother that is like pushing it, that says, oh, can you watch this while I buy some cigarettes for 5 seconds, and you look and the baby's there, and then like someone presses a button and the folds of the chair just disappear over the baby, and then the mom comes back. She's like, what did you do with my baby? My baby's gone. That's hilarious because they're not expecting it. You know? they don't know they're being pranked. Listen, and like this dude saw me. He knows I'm a satyr. There's only this much time before he tells someone. It's ruined, okay? Look, oh shit! Oh no! this sort of sound behind you.
I turn around.
Okay, cool. There's nothing there. It's just a minor illusion spell. And when you turn back around, he's already sprinting up the hill and he's putting on his his whole coat. He's putting it on, and he puts this weird mask. And as he puts on the costume, he grows in size until he looks like.
You might have to expend a spell to catch him.
I'm trying to think what I can cast. I didn't really.
Let's see.
So can I want to run in front of him
Okay.
and.
Your speed is 25 feet as a gnome. So he's dashing, which means he's using his movement times 2 thanks to his action being spent. Even if he dashes, it's 60 feet of movement. If you dash, it's 25 feet. So how are you catching up?
Wouldn't it be 50?
50, yes, 50.
How am I gonna catch up to him?
Yeah.
Is there anything you can use to slow him down?
Well, I could. I have Thunder Wave prepared, and that would hit him backwards. But I have to be in front of
Thunder
him.
Wave pushes people away from you.
Right, so I have to be in front of him in order to push him away from the students.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think you have Misty Step or you have any movement spells prepared.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't have any spells.
You might need to use an action to sort of get in front, to transform into a faster beast to get in front of him. Or I can allow you to make an athletics check at disadvantage against him because he's putting on his costume, so it is slowing him down a little bit. You can just try to sprint and tackle him, but you have but yeah, you have you're at a disadvantage because you're a gnome.
Shoot. I think I'm gonna summon my beast.
Okay.
Yes.
Land beast, flight beast, or
Land beast.
okay.
Wait.
So, I've added a character. It's number 29 to the Google Drive, and this is what horse looks like. Multiple arms, tall, masked, with shapes like roots that are semi-transparent appering behind him.
This is the disguise that he put on.
This is the disguise that he's got going on. I need you to make. I think it's good art. I agree. Woo!
I want to summon Dandelion again.
Okay, cool.
And
You know what? It'd be so funny if Dandelion just tackles him.
yeah.
Just you cast the spell to one of the yellow flowers and bounding out from the grass as if having sprung from the earth, Dandelion appears. How far away can you summon him?
An unoccupied space that I can see.
That you can see?
Within range.
Okay, what's the range of the spell?
90 feet.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you definitely manifest Dandelion right in front of him, and he sort of stops where he is. He's sort of within sight of the camp, but instead of like trying to sidestep Dandelion or anything, he's just gonna stand where he is and say, "I am the master of this house. Your intrusion has angered me. Prepare to feel my wrath and the wrath of my Dandelion."
Can I? Wait, what? He's claiming
Yeah,
my
he's
Dandelion.
claiming he's adding it to his.
I bet you Dandelion looked at him like, what you talking about?
Can I have Dandelion lunge at him and try and pull his costume off?
Sure. Yes. Make an attack roll. It's just a little satyr, so his stats aren't the best. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's against the AC, so I'm not rolling anything. What did you roll?
6.
Cool. His AC. Sorry, you have the +4 of your like.
Blessing.
That's +4 with your with the bonus to the attack.
No, so that's just for the attack.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what the bonus for the attack would be.
It's in the stats for Dandelion.
1d8 plus 4 plus the spell's level piercing damage.
No, before that. Just before that.
Your spell attack modifier to hit.
Okay, cool. So you have a +4 to hit, so a 10 does not hit. You see that he moves to the side pretty elegantly and says, "Shush, you're not.
Wait, come on.
I will not allow you to eat them. I reserve for them a worse punishment. I will forgive you if you jump off of the cliff this instant."
Can my hawk see all of that?
Huh?
Can my hawk see all of
Yes,
that?
your hawk can see all of that.
Can he help?
Meanwhile, your characters, we're gonna cut from this scene.
Cut away.
Like, so is my hawk relaying this to me?
Yeah, your hawk is like you need to spend an action where you zone out
And we,
of your.
like, can communicate without using an action?
You need to use an action and stop sensing your body to be able to sense through the senses of the.
But
the
like
female.
the familiar talking to me.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I guess yes, you do have the telepathic link. So yes, it informs you of everything that's happening minus the sound. You only hear horse's voice. Like that's all that the eagle is able to like the conversation with Rock
Okay.
present. So,
I'll have him help her when he can.
So the two of you, for the few turns that elapsed since Rock left, what are Xaris and Leroy?
Alright, so the first question is how he got here and why is he teaching or trying to teach these satires?
I got lost in the woods, and I didn't realize that something was a portal, but it wasn't a portal. And I wandered through the Feywild, trying to find a way back, which are difficult to get when you can't cast the spell. And I started being really hungry, and I found some food laying around in those ruins. I broke one of the rules, and now I'm here. I will be freed when my 5 students can pass a test on multiversal travel with flying colors.
How difficult would that be?
Perfect grades, but it has to. I have to rank them fairly for their aptitude and.
Seems like a difficult task with these students.
Yeah, Tide keeps returning the tests that I give her after she's done using it to wipe her ass.
Tide.
Tide, yes. Tide, sorry, Waters. Waters. She's the one who does the disgusting pranks.
The burning flowers.
Light has an affinity for wordplay on people's names. Kite is very good at illusions and how do you say Looney Tunes clown magic. She's you might want to be careful of paintings of large and deep holes when you're moving around here. Noon just prefers very time-consuming pranks.
Yeah, it's noon. Wait, do the names have to do with their pranks?
No, I think their names are just. It might have a certain meaning, but I don't care enough to. I just want to get out of here.
Who are they trying to make laugh?
Master of the house. Just as soon as he says master of the house, from beneath the ground a root drops up, and inside of it a flower blooms, and as it does so, it reveals a letter inside of it. You were talking to Antonio, so you get the letter.
No, what's it? I guess I read it aloud.
If you want.
Honored guests, welcome to the home and university of what?
It's written in Sylvan.
I read Sylvan.
Yeah, this is not written in Sylvan. This is like a really weird
Font.
Yeah. So Antonio says his servants. He gestures at the satyrs, refer to him as Hastu.
Astor?
Hoster?
Hastu.
Astor? H-A-S-T-U-R?
T-U-H.
T-U-H.
Oh, fun.
Oh, have you looked at the image yet?
You're invited.
I mean, I suspected that's what we were dealing with from the image, but
You are invited to stay for as long as you like. I barely understand cursive. My faculty?
my parents made me learn cursive. Let me look at this. Let me see.
Wait, I thought this was what
Yeah.
horse looks like.
He looks like that right now. This is him impersonating the master of the
Because
house.
he was the headmaster of the house
I gotcha.
when
Yeah,
he was introduced.
he
when they
introduced
Oh,
himself as the
you
master.
write your S's weird.
Yes. So
That's what that was. My satyrs have overheard your plan to stay here for a month to collect resources and learn about the Feywild. You should know that the Archfey Archimonth is coming. Archimarch is camping his endless horde just outside the walls to my home. They do not
Spare.
spare extraplaners.
Okay, I'm sorry about this. My handwriting is not the
Yes.
best.
You are not welcome here. The rules to my household are simple.
You're not welcome there.
Oh, you're not welcome there. The rules to my household are simple. No portal magic is allowed without my direct permission. No murder.
This is Antonio helping you read the. Antonio seems to be used to this form of communication from Hastu.
No murder. No murderers either.
No murders either. It's specific, so that you can't get away by murdering two people instead of just one with no murder.
This is a contract, basically.
Wait. Okay.
No murder and no murders either.
Because you
Okay,
can't commit a murder, but now he covered it so you can't commit multiple murders.
Mm-hmm. Dreams are like an allergic substance for me. You may only sleep when I am out of the house from midnight to 8 a.m. You may not go to the underground levels. I wish you a pleasant stay.
Rot, you get a similar letter popping up in front of you, and as you see, there are a few others that pop up in the inside of the camp.
All the students.
Everybody is now aware of the rules.
Did you just make that up?
Huh?
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
That graphic?
Yeah. I took inspiration from the weird fonts that sort of like have
Like Metallica.
stuff that comes out of the
I can kind of tell HA something.
Yeah.
Helvetica?
No, like there's fonts that are glitch fonts, basically.
Kind of like metal bands, like death metal bands logos.
No, more like when you read Tumblr posts about eldritch horrors, they'll have the thing written, but then a bunch of other like symbols that come out of it in places where the text should not allow that sort of stuff. But like that's just the inspiration. It looks like this, and yes, I
Like I could kind of tell letters in it. I was like trying to read that.
Yeah.
Like HA something UP. I saw.
has to.
Hastu. So it was the name Hastu?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's like fair.
HASTU?
H.
Oh, none of us can do portal magic, so we're okay there.
Yes, but our Professor Pross can.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you came in.
Was through portal magic.
So if we want to leave, we either have to go outside of the domain to do the portal magic,
But we can't even go outside of the domain.
Or get his permission.
or get his permission.
Yeah.
You can't even go outside either. Because he also says not to go outside.
He specifically says you're not welcome there.
You're not welcome there.
It says you can't go.
Yeah, he
Then
doesn't say you can't go outside, just that we won't be welcome.
Yeah.
And that we will not be spared.
Yes, extra planar.
Yeah,
You hear Frost starting to yell commands. He from his tent, he calls the students and immediately starts to say, listen, this is very, like, you can hear him saying, careful, don't break any of the rules, get over here, we need to discuss this.
Saying that to us?
To the students, but you're able to hear it. His worried voice carries over to the building even when they are.
Wait, haven't they done this multiple times already? The trip?
Yeah, he's been here a few times.
So that's why he's concerned, because it's the first time that this happened.
oh dear.
So he wasn't expecting this at all.
No,
So he doesn't know that there's a master of the house.
he didn't know there was a house.
Oh, did he get a letter too?
Yeah,
everybody.
Like all of the students got like you have one that flowers in front of you and you see.
You don't see the walls?
Huh?
You don't see the walls when they get close?
Well, he didn't.
Get close.
He didn't get close.
Oh.
He's been doing this every single fucking year, letting the kids do everything.
Oh no! This is the first Feywild school trip in a really long time. In fact, it might be the first one for Canopy.
Wait.
What?
But he's counted the region, or so he claims. But there hasn't been a Feywild school trip before.
What?
Yeah, this is the like.
Oh joy!
Oh, joyous joy.
Okay. So.
I thought this was a yearly thing.
Yeah, yearly. So,
Or at least like semi-yearly.
Sorry that I didn't mention this. We can say your characters find out organically, like later, talking with Frost, when he's like, "Oh no, we've never done this before. This is the first."
Okay. We'll get to the conversation when it happens. Right now, let's deal with this note.
Okay, so these are the rules that we have to follow, or
be forever trapped in servitude to the master of the house.
Or at least have something really horrible happen.
Are you guys still in the house with?
Yeah, we're still talking to the.
I mean, this is all the house.
Yeah.
Well,
But then you're still in the conjuration classroom.
Oh.
You're in the somewhere in the hallway.
Oh, I thought I was in the courtyard.
Yeah, you're in the courtyard.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's
Still part of the house.
yes. He's laid claim to
Wait,
the
is horse-
Feywild and
Or
the
as soon as you go to see
Candlekeep.
horse,
Huh?
where he is.
When you get when you're far from the walls, yes, you have direct line of sight. So
Okay, that's.
we're gonna go back to horse,
I was
who,
gonna say where are
who says, now that you have read my, you catch up to him.
we? Uh-huh.
What do you do?
Tackle him to the ground.
So I'm next to him now.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to use Thunderwave to knock him back.
Okay. All right.
Or no, you know what? I just want to use Druid Craft and produce a gust of wind to blow the dress and the costume that he put on.
Roll Arcana.
So you could have just also just.
Yeah. You see that like the two large hands with which he's gesturing are like full of like theatrics, and the other two smaller hands are like quickly still finishing putting on the costume correctly. So right now it's still pretty easy to just blow it off of him. I'm gonna say it's a difficulty 14 with your spellcasting modifier. You gotta roll a 10.
I rolled a 20.
Nice. Okay. You the gust of wind blows just a few of the clothes, but as soon as the mask comes off, that's when he shrieks, and the gust of wind lands the mask in your hands. Because you rolled a natural 20.
I got a mask, guys.
Just hold on.
Horse turns around and says, "Hey, that's not a gift. You gotta trade it to me for something good. If you want to keep it. That's important to me. That's most of my comedy. Listen."
Wait, he said it's not a gift.
Yeah.
Then he said it should be thinking if he takes it.
Can I trade him my common clothes that I have? Since I'm wearing like my uniform and my armor.
Listen. I will make you make a persuasion check when it is something that he might actually consider. This is a magical item that you're trying to trade for common clothes.
I was trying to trade him common clothes because he could use it as a different disguise.
Is this a magical disguise?
Yes.
No.
Don't lie. Roll deception.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Roll deception. You're at a disadvantage, so you roll 2 dice and you use the worst one.
You better roll 20 there.
7. He doesn't have an insight, so the difficulty is I rolled a 7.
Okay, so my first roll was an 18 and my second roll is a 12.
Okay. And your deception modifier?
Is a 1.
Okay. Like he
He takes my clothes?
yeah.
Nice.
he takes your clothes. You see that he looks at it and says, "How does it work?"
You put them on.
Yeah. You see that he starts to like. This is a gnome common clothes, so he is. Usually magical items, they sort of like grow or shrink to accommodate your size.
You must not have enough wisdom to use the magical item. It must be too powerful for you to use.
Trade backs. Make an athletics check as he tries to yank the mask away from you. If I can't use this, it's useless to me. Who do you think I am?
But he accepted the trade.
Yeah, and now I'm taking it back.
Is that not against the rules?
There's 4 rules in the house, and I'm pretty sure I know what they are.
I rolled an 11.
Okay, he rolled a 17, so he's able to snatch it from you. Looks at you and says, maybe I'll get you the mask.
Oh.
Just give me 1 second. And you see that he runs off towards where the alchemist tower is. And as he goes up the stairs, you can see that like the tower fully forms around him, in order to ensure that there's a base, like the whole tower. And he goes up all the way up the artificer's tower, and it's actually taller in the Feywilds than it is in the prime.
Oh god.
I'm just picturing one of those like cartoon sequences where it just keeps going up a spiral staircase.
I'm envisioning that the tower from Dragon Ball Z where it just like never ends.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Platform.
He's just like cartoonishly high in the sky.
And like your characters, you're back there. I need both of you to make a perception check. I'm gonna. I have a +5, but I'm gonna be rolling at a disadvantage.
12.
That's a difficulty 13. No, that's a 7. 7 plus 5. Difficulty 12.
12.
What are we rolling?
Perception.
Oh,
I got
13 with my
13.
perception.
Cool. Both of you notice the satyrs are like while you're talking to Antonio, they're sneaking away to go pull some other pranks.
I am going to, as cartoonishly as possible, try to yoink one of them and ask where they're going.
You see that like as you grab him, he casts minor illusion, and he makes it look like his eyes stay in the place, and when you
I guess that's some.
pull this person.
I can call my familiar red.
Yes.
So I try to.
You see this is kite that you've grabbed.
I call my familiar right in front of the door.
Huh?
I summon my familiar to appear right in front of the door.
Oh, you need to use a spell slot and take the time to cast the spell to make it appear.
To reappear?
Yeah, to reappear. Because right now it's just in the sky. It can just drop in front of you. Do you want it to do that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. As it gets close, you see a group of vines sprout up at an incredible speed and form the roof that your familiar just like collides with at full speed because you ordered it to come down where you are.
Speed.
So.
You ordered it to come down through the roof?
Yeah, the roof didn't exist at the time. Okay, that is 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
How much does it have?
Oh my god.
The rules of this place are funky, and and I know it's taking you a second to adjust.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
How much HP does the falcon have?
I need a check.
It might be dead. Familiars don't usually have 10 HP.
Is it just under the hawk thing?
Yeah. HP.
HP armor class?
No.
I came into it from here.
Show me.
I'm
Hit points 1.
Yeah.
So,
dead.
You hear like you don't see it, but you see the vines sprout up and form this little circle of roof, and you hear, and then as soon as it ceases to be alive, the vines retract, and because it is now no longer a living creature, the building doesn't materialize around it. It just drops at your feet.
Wait, no, the miniatures disappear.
Yeah, and then like the hawk looks at you. Its neck is snapped. His wing is broken, and it looks at you. And in the last moment of telepathy, before it sort of like disappears in golden dust, it says, "Why?"
I'm sorry.
That's terrible.
Oh my god. So I'd rather ask quite pointedly, where do you guys think you're going?
Well, apparently I'm not going anywhere, but the others, well,
Oh god, I guess.
if I had to take a wild guess, they're gonna do their homework.
I'll call BS on that.
Hey, shut up, bird killer.
Listen, I really don't care whether or not they're going to be fornicating with their homework, but
Probably.
However, it is part of our rules that we must keep our students safe at all costs.
Okay. Define safety.
None of blood, hair, scale, fluff shall be harmed. None of the most
Yes.
Is that the full definition?
No. Okay, let me go for a definition. So we need to have them returned. We need to have them returned unharmed in mind, body, and spirit.
emotional.
What, define harm.
They should arrive the same way as they came. The
So
same
like memory wide.
With the memories
anti-aging
intact.
cream, huh?
with their memories and everything intact.
Oh, okay. But like, so that includes traumatic memories.
Ours help.
I'm just trying. Listen, your rules are like, you gotta help me out here. You
Teach, can you help us here?
Rot, you have three satyrs like run past you. Like
I'm
trying to like they basically scatter and then go up towards the where the students are doing camp. So you see them like basically making parts of the buildings appear as they go. They clearly know the terrain really well. Yeah.
And we're headed towards the students.
Horse comes back down and says, "Okay, two options. I give the mask to you, and you give me your name, or I give this mask to you and you give me this room." Basically, like the magical mask is how I do most of my pranks. You'd be neutralizing like a fifth of the satyrs that are present here, you know?
I also
Like-
will keep the broom instead of the mask of illusion.
I think that, yeah,
Or
I'm gonna
disguise.
just say no to the mask. You can keep the mask.
Okay. I'll give it to you for 1 gold.
What?
Wait, I don't trust him.
No, I don't trust this either. No, thank you.
Because he went up the tower. He could have gotten something else and used height value.
Oh yeah,
value
that's a spell. Distort value.
Yeah, distort value
makes an item seem worth more gold than it actually is worth.
Or you can also use another minor illusion to make it look like it's an item, but it's another item.
Yeah, I don't trust him because he wouldn't ask for
You
my
can do
name
you can do
and then
can she do an
ask
insight
settle
check?
for
Just
one
gold.
gold.
could she do an insight check?
Oh no, it's like you pieced it together out of games.
Oh,
it's
okay.
enough to piece it together in game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's as he puts the mask away, you see that like the gold sort of like vanishes and it's just a bunch of farting flowers.
Good. Okay, so I want to take care of the 3 satyrs that ran
Okay.
at.
Yeah. So like at this point they're at the camp. The two of you, I imagine you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be like, we don't want anything to come to them that would upset their parents or their patrons.
Or our boss.
I don't know those folks, right? Maybe they'd be upset by, being taught about gender identity or trans people or the history of racial injustice. Like, some parents, they get upset about the most ridiculous things.
Oh, this is quite true. But I also spent time researching the Feywild, and I know that quite often you like to try to find loopholes in the letter of an agreement to allow you to do something very much against the spirit of the agreement.
Listen.
And we want to...
Light-hearted pranks with the best of intentions.
Don't do to them what you wouldn't want to be done to you.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can do that.
No, that is not right.
You know what? Let's chalk that one up as a win.
Okay. You
That is probably the form that is going to cause the least amount of actual trouble.
Yeah.
There might be some pranks, but
We're not going to be able to stop them from doing pranks.
yeah.
As y'all are heading back up the hill, you can see that the satyrs, first their approach is like, they like once they're past the wall, they get down low and they start to like crawl towards the camp. But they keep eyeing each other and seeing the progress that the others are making, and in an attempt, Horse turns around and seeing that he's last, he's gonna like start to book it towards the student alongside you, and when they see that he's gonna reach the students first, the other ones get up and they're like shoving each other to try to be the first one to prank the students in a way that is very much not discreet. Sort of like the students sort of already have a kind of like suspicious look at those satyrs as they're running like full speed towards them. Kite is with Kite is the one you caught?
Yeah.
Yes, kite.
Yeah, she's with you as you're trudging back up.
Professor with us too?
Hi, I'm Light. Can you give me your name?
Don't give them their names.
Yeah. The students, having been properly briefed by Frost, are like able to do that. A couple of the satyrs pull out some like berries, blueberries. It's mostly Light who does this and who's like, do you want food? And like the students are like, I do want it, but I will not take take food that is not offered. And the seekers, like you see that the students are doing their best, and after a few minutes, the satyrs sort of like go away, huddle up, and start to like make a plan together, the 5 of them.
Because they tried and failed.
Yeah.
So, should we at this point go fill Prost in on what's happening? Go check in with Prost?
I'll also let them know that apparently this master of the house likes it when someone makes them laugh.
Oh, also, I was wondering if I could do an Arcana check or maybe a Nature check because I saw the costume.
Yes.
And I would like to know if I am aware of the creature.
For sure. Arcana or Nature?
I'd like to do Nature.
Sure, go ahead.
I rolled a 7 plus 4 is 11.
A creature this large and with so many like visual attributes, the roots of the large tree, the 4 arms, the like lavish golden cloak and mask. This isn't just any fey creature. You think that this might be an archfey, the lords and nobles who rule over this land. Some of them are known to be cruel and capricious. Some of them are known to be whimsy. They embody emotions in their extremes. A widowed archfey will corrupt the land with sadness around it, and summon to it dark creatures, not just tricksters, but assassins and wild terrors. This one, you don't really have a vibe for him just having seen his costume, but it is an imposing thing.
Well, at least we know it's an archfey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I figure if maybe if we know it likes to laugh, at the very least we can probably remain fairly in its good graces if
Prost is pacing. He's not dabbing his skin with a handkerchief. You notice something weird too. He's removed his couple of he's in his shirt, removed his uniform, and the tent is very dark, strongly insulated against the light, and not a single source of light has been brought in to light it up, but he seems to find his way rather expertly for a human. The flap of the door has been closed, and so you have dark vision, so you're able to see this pretty well. The other two, Frost doesn't seem to have noticed while you're giving your report, and he says this. This is bad. We can't panic it in front of the students, but if we are no longer guests in this place, we will be pushed out to where the army is. Clearly sense that we're not welcome there. We can't use portal travel to exit. I can't use most of my conjuration spells that require portal to bring creatures in. He did say we can stay for as long as we'd like, but he knows that we plan to leave in a month, so he might not even allow us to persuade him to open the portal back to the plane unless if he allows it. and the satyrs, they might try to trick us.
Prost.
Yes.
This might not be as bad as it seems, namely because we do have an entire month.
At this point, I check my watch to see how much time has passed in the real world versus what's going on now.
Your watch can tell you how much time has passed for you. It can't tell. It needs it needs to be an object substantially magically stronger than what you can do with the Tingus tools to tell you how much time has passed in the real world.
Oh, why? I thought I'd set it to the time that was in the real world. But that is...
Yeah, you'll be able to tell how much. You'll be able to tell when the month is up for you.
Okay. So we still have no idea. Okay. Dang.
Oh, you're right. The time. The Archfey might understand that we're here for a month, but he might take it to mean a month in our world, and the Archfey can alter times if they're given enough time in preparation to stretch it out. This is not good. This is not good.
Well, the as we also mentioned, the satyrs seem rather keen on appeasing this master of the house through making this master laugh. Do we have any students that are particularly apt at being, shall we say, comedians?
Not because they're trying.
Well...
Garrett, he's a racist little shit who's against all creatures that are non-human, and he has yet to realize that he's half giant.
That is definitely a piece of irony.
Yeah,
That
very
is
ironic.
tragic.
Zamachi is here. Zamachi does puns all the time, fails quite a few of them, but makes her co-students laugh.
How about anyone that's more along the vein of a class clown?
I think Zamachi is the one
Right.
who's for laughs.
Okay, well, I would say maybe...
But they're all they're not as rowdy as younger folks. They're all adults. We don't teach any children or adolescents in this school. So.
Well, yes, but, I mean, I noticed that the particularly wild satyrs also have to expend quite a bit of effort to get this archfey to be amused, so maybe a more educated or sophisticated touch might actually be what it prefers.
I've not looked into the intricacies of humor in quite some time, decades at least. This is a challenge beyond my skill set, and
Well,
we
let's...
might need to consider more extreme options. We have 30 spellcasters in the form of students. Only a few of them have enough discipline, but I can teach them discipline in a short amount of time. And all of you are now seasoned adventurers. I know how to prepare troops and organize spellcasters who might be able to take this archfey?
No, I don't think that we should be planning warfare against the Archfey. What makes you assume that he has bad intentions right off the bat?
We already have an army surrounding
Yeah,
us.
This smells too much like a trap to not be something with ignoble intentions.
What if the Archfey's trapped in here? The army surrounding his
yeah.
area.
But I mean that is another concern. Is the Archfey might be the only thing holding that army at bay, and if we remove the Archfey, we would have to deal with them, and I don't think we would have the resources to do that successfully.
I think that if we would like to leave, if you are concerned about the situation and we would like to leave, we should gather some sort of offering, some sort of gift that we could give this Archfey and ask for his permission to use a portal to go back.
You might be able to negotiate, but the values of those beings are different from the values that we use. They don't pay taxes. They don't necessarily abide by monetary rules.
Oh.
Capricious and whimsical.
Mm-hmm.
We might need to do something like a group of magical objects, or even the names of some of our students, or.
First of all, why are we in the dark?
Let's think of what's
Like, first
something-
of all, why are we in the dark?
I apologize. You mentioned the dark, and uses a little bit of prestidigitation to light a couple of candles that are on the table. I forget.
So
The room lights up for you two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, because he has dark vision?
Humans aren't supposed to, but he seems to.
He's becoming more interesting every time we have an interaction with him.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that you guys think we could give to this Archfey?
Well,
Wait, isn't the Archfey having, what was the guy's name again? The teacher?
Antonio.
And Antonio teach these satires.
yes, he is.
You mean he's trying to teach them discipline?
We could.
The satyrs?
Mm-hmm.
No. Besides,
speaking
that's
as pro-
that's his sentence. He messed up. He's got to serve his sentence. I'm worried about school staff and the school.
Yes, but we if we're not careful, we may be in that same situation as him.
We have rations. We'll be fine.
We only have rations for so much.
Outside, you hear. Everyone, I can't find my rations. Where? I looked away from them for 1 second. Has anyone seen any rations? And then you hear other
You have
rations.
to go and say
Oh,
get
here,
you crossed.
I got some. Oh, no, I don't have some.
So the satyrs stole
The satyrs.
all the rations?
Not all of them. You, Prost sends you out of his tent to sort of evaluate the situation. Only 2 students have had rations taken from them.
Okay.
You know
So.
what?
I was thinking, what do you guys think about putting together a play for this Archfey?
Oh.
I like it. Like Prost, clearly not an understanding of the, not someone who appreciates the theatrical arts and
I mean,
comedy.
it is his first
But-
time here, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
you just found out this was the first
Yes.
trip to the Feywild just
Yes.
now.
So.
you know what? At least if we all survive and match the other side, hopefully Strix, hopefully Chris won't freeze us, kill us.
Well, I think that if we
I don't wanna
can
become a
somehow...
frozen
Is it? You know, thinking about that meeting with Chris, I'm half wondering about asking
Maybe we can somehow.
about asking Antonio how raw his deal is.
Oh yeah.
It's like, wait, which is really the worst option here?
Going back and being iced to death, or staying here and having to do pranks.
and having to deal with like 5 annoying satyrs.
Yes.
You're outside of the tent, checking that everyone has their rations at this point. Like the 2 students who lost them had dropped their bags to set up their tents. Everyone is now being directed by the by the 7 students who have uniforms to keep their rations on them and all of their possessions on them at all times.
Yeah, bag of holding would have been wonderful. Yeah.
You're outside saying this. Some of the students look at you like, it's been a few minutes, and those people are already considering staying here.
It's like, is this really is this really gonna be worse than Crisp?
You do see a silver lining. This is a chance for you to do something very heroic that might ensure that you're not fired when you return.
That's what I say. If we survive this,
I think if we can
Chris,
somehow
that's what I said. We won't be frozen.
leave this situation while having a good relationship with this archfey and like
That
having
would
an
be
ally
wonderful.
in this archfey would be pretty heroic.
For sure.
And especially since
I have one of
Mr.
Laraza's pages.
Oh no! On the other side is yours. It's the there was a printing mistake.
Oh.
So put a big X on the back of that.
what does it say?
It's just your first page.
No. I was gonna say something. What was the last thing? What was the last thing I said before?
We're debating putting on the play and how bad it would be to go back to Crisp.
I mean, if we survive and at least if we do get in a good relationship with the archmage,
Archfey.
the archfey, with the students will have at least a safe place, and if they ever come back to the Feywilds.
It would definitely work to the school's advantage if we can actually get a good relationship with the Archfey.
While we're discussing, can Dandelion be playing with the satyrs?
Like toying with them.
Yeah, like toying with them.
Sure. The satyrs are see this what appears to them as a dumb animal as a great opportunity for pranks, because it might not understand humor, but things can happen to it that would be considered humorous.
Yeah.
What sort of I know like cat fail compilations when they jump off of ledges and stuff like this is great. So they immediately like gather treats and food to feed to Dandelion, and then lure him to the roofs of different buildings and try to get Dandelion to jump from one side to the other as a way of like. So yeah, they get distracted by Dandelion for like hours.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
They're all sort of like working together and trying to work together. You see that Waters sets up fart plants at the bottom of where Dandelion might fall if he jumps off. You do notice. Make a luck check.
Luck check.
I
Yeah. You at some point you're doing something else. You hear a bone crunching sound, and the spell ends not because you lost concentration, but because something has happened to Dandelion. You look around, and you see the sagers looking down from atop the roofs of buildings at what appears to be a painted hole on the ground, and they're all like. Immediately Kite says, "It was an accident. It was an accident. It wasn't an intentional murder. It wasn't supposed to be deep enough."
Wait, didn't they break a rule?
Wait, it wasn't sentient. It's animal abuse, not murder. And after a few seconds, when nothing happens, and Kite is just like frozen in terror. You see something emerge from the ground, something yellow with horns and a mask and 4 arms. And as it comes up, menacing right behind her, you realize that the roots of the tree that are around Hastur aren't roots. They're enormous tentacles coming out from beneath his robes.
Yeah.
And he stands over her and says, "You have disappointed me. This breaking rules in my house is not funny." Takes a step forward. Kite takes a couple of steps back. She's heading towards the cliff. She falls on her knees, begs for mercy. And in the background, you see the 3 satyrs poofing and laughing. And you realize Horse is nowhere to be found. And after a few seconds, he takes off the mask of Hastu, goes back to his regular size and says, "Got you!"
I was actually starting to fear for Kite.
And in the background, you hear, "Ha ha 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 ha."
Okay, so that at least proves that he is into humor.
He is into humor.
It also, like Frost points out to all of you, that it also means that he's able to, from wherever he is, Hastu is able to hear when a joke is made.
Yeah.
He might be able to perceive everything that we do or say.
So he has, what, clairvoyance? Something like that?
I mean, we just found out that the divination teacher already knows everything, so.
Well, she did
She's
say...
able to answer specific questions.
Wait,
it's not the same thing. Like, this feels more like the power an Archfey has over their domain.
You know what? I should have asked her if we would have returned safe.
I'm sure we'll only be mentally scarred. Fine.
Emotionally, maybe?
Oh man, I need to ramp up my game if you're sure.
What time is it?
Alright.
3:53.
I think that as the night falls, the students start to get organized into shifts. They're gonna make sure the camp doesn't get infiltrated by any of the satyrs and the other pixies that still haven't really interacted but that are present. As the sun sets over the horizon, 2 moons crop up, which is, I think, the same amount that the prime material realm has as well, except that those moons have faces in them. And as night falls and people prepare themselves to stay awake until midnight, that's where we're going to end today's session.
Alright. That was fun.
Good, that's the plan.
What can I say? I'm not a killer. I'm never.
Both familiars.
Well, my beast is just like summoned. I don't think that he's like dead.
Like, they can be called upon again, you just need to spend a spell slot to do so.
Right.
And in order to spend a spell slot, you need 8 hours of rest.
Wait, what?
You're only allowed to rest at very, very specific times.
I still have spell slots though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can
Okay.
cast again, you can bring down
He
the
said
line.
12 to 7, right?
12 to 8.
12 to 8. Oh, okay.
So,
we
you don't have any margin for error if you want to get your spell slots back and your HP back and not get...
So we're basically going to have to rotate who gets all their spell slots back.
If you want everyone to be awake that day, yes. If you want some people to be awake during that time, yes.
No, we're not allowed to be asleep during the rest of the time.
Yes, that's right. But what I mean is that, like, if you want to have a shift of people who are awake during the sleeping hours for the others, suddenly that means...
So basically that will mean at least one person gets a full rest and the other person gets short rest.
The people who stay awake are going to they're going to be missing out on spell slots. They're going to be missing out on.
So they're still be able to get a short rest, right? Like 4 hour rest.
Yeah, you can. But that does count as like resting and dreaming, and that is not allowed.
No, but in between the 12 and 8,
For sure.
saying that there's at least one person could get their full spell
I
slots
mean,
back.
I haven't expended any spell slots
Mhm.
today, so I can get the shorter sleep.
Me neither for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, so we make sure you get a full rest.
Okay.
I guess we'll get half rest just to prevent any exhaustion.
Yes. I thought that the presence of Class 2 might be another good reason to introduce the X card. Because interacting with him is going to be fun for me, not necessarily for y'all.
Because he's mean.
We'll see.
I'm missing a page.
You are?
A page.
Is it? Oh no. Not here.
Oh, I found it. So, did you download these character sheets from the internet somewhere?
Yeah. D&D 5th edition character sheets, and there's a few different arrangements. There's some that are much better for people with ADHD who have trouble with numbers and compartment and where they're placed. There's a lot of different kinds that are really cool.
I was just thinking.
Yeah. No, it's like because yeah, it's like Crisp seemed seemed pretty pissed.
Chris did seem pretty pissed.
That's why I was like, how raw a deal is it being stuck teaching the satyrs?
dealing with the master of the house.
Because and I definitely want to find out what Antonio's deal is, like, because I figure there's probably a specific reason Antonio is being made to teach the satyrs.
Yeah, he ate food that wasn't given
No.
to him.
What I mean is why that specific thing is his punishment, not, like, we know he ate food.
Oh.
I kind of thought that he was a teacher. Like he came from Candlekeep.
No, he said he was, was it?
He just said that
He was strolling the woods
Yeah,
and
he
he
didn't say.
accidentally crossed over into the Feywild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think I do remember him saying that he was in the woods walking when he stumbled upon the Feywild.
So the star, Kimmy, the star for you is gonna be your idea of setting up a play. You understood that like this whatever this is going to last for a month, so that you have time to try things out and be creative. And so the fact that you so quickly were able to be like, oh, we might be able to trade laughs to get out of here, like the satyrs are well.
Or trade entertainment at least is what I thought. Yeah.
Exactly. So like, I didn't set up this setup with necessarily with fixed ideas of what can get you out of here. So I think it's a great and creative idea to have come up sort of on the spot. Carrie, I think the star is gonna be like how well you recovered from the frustrating scene that was difficult for you with Crisp. Because I could tell that it was staying on your mind, that you were like repeating yourself about how you'd been blindsided and stuff like this. But I think that talking about how we might solve this in the future, do more me prompting insights checks and like an awareness that you can roll insights, like you really you didn't let that disappoint you for the rest of the game. And as someone who's like, I've GM'd for a while, and when and sometimes that can really ruin a player's ability to enjoy a game, and the fact that you moved on and that you were able, like, I know you might still have some frustrations, but that's a good skill to have. So that's the start. Damien, your use of familiars. At the end, it was pretty comical, but your decisions to like make it a thing so that it blends in with the creatures around you better. The getting it to fly around and scout brought you important information very quickly.
Yep.
You know about what it does. You're able to, you know about projecting your senses and telepathic link that you use for back and forth without, like, let's be honest here. I was priming myself for, if you use your action to project your senses, you can't sense what's happening to your body, and you were surrounded by 4 satyrs at the time. So I was like, oh yes, oh this is good, oh this is great. And then you were like, no, I'm just asking with telepathy, and the hawk is gonna just tell me what it sees, what it describes, and I'm like fully here because those satyrs are trouble.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I don't trust them.
Yeah, like you're being very smart with your use of that spell, and like that's good. I think my wish is for everyone to. You don't need to come up with anything, but think about what sort of play or you might and comedy you might want to rely on, and if you have and think like, because we're gonna try to represent a month's worth of thinking and sticking around in the week that's coming. I don't know like how long we're gonna be staying in the Feywild. But if you're able, like in your off time, to sort of like prepare for how you might get out of this, or stuff like this, that might help make the role play in the next session more realistic. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Who's got stars and wishes?
My star was the Crisp scene. I was like, oh, I'm gonna die here. I kind of like the sense of like, am I gonna die?
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna have to fight a dragon? I don't mind fighting a dragon, but
just like the whole scene and how intimidating it was, or
yes, because it's like it actually shows just how huge and powerful he is compared to us right now.
Cool. Wish.
Not sure.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna write prompt for insight in the same place that I have the timer for breaks, so that I remember to do that. Cool. Anybody else want to have a go?
As far as like stars, I want to say I think you're doing a really good job of giving the characters like identifiable personalities.
Thank you.
Like I really, at this point, I'm really starting to feel like I can sort of like get an idea for like which character is which.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. A lot of the times I center the character around one or two ideas, and then I sort of improvise around that. So yeah, you like basically what I had written down for the different satyrs is what I told you. It's the type of pranks that they do, with a couple more things that you have yet to discover. But like, I like that it's making compelling characters. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, also like the characters that we've already encountered.
oh yes, for sure.
Like sort of like you know.
That like Prost is staying like the same throughout our interactions with him.
Yeah, and also like the new stuff we're learning feels built on top of that, not just like an addition.
Yeah.
Like, here's the cookie.
Yeah.
That's good. Like role playing and doing compelling characters is one of the things that I've struggled with over the years. I don't get into role playing easy, and I usually say, so then the character explains that thing instead of like being in character and saying that. So I'm really happy that I'm getting better at it. Any wishes?
I think definitely like what I was talking about earlier, sort of better balance with some of the tonal stuff.
Yeah.
Just because it's like it's not. You know, I think that's part of why I was so sidelined, is it was such a light comedic thing with the kobolds. I was not in any way priming myself to be like, oh wait, is there something sinister going on here?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, these are like, you know, goofy, silly kobolds, and like people are picking on them because, you know, they're kobolds and people don't like kobolds.
Yeah. For sure. Yes. All right. Hey.
So my star is also kind of about the Indominus Crisp interaction, but I think my star is that like I like that we failed.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Like I like that we're not going to be able to do everything right. Like I don't necessarily think that makes for a fun gameplay if like
If everything goes according to plan.
yeah if everything is anticipated and everything goes according to plan. And so I liked that there was like a curveball kind of thrown at us.
Yeah.
We can die as soon as we step through that portal.
Yeah, we almost did. And like I love that too, that like all of us are like, yeah, let's get high, and then we're like, oh, let's go into the Feywild, and then almost get really fucked up. I thought that was hilarious.
Luckily, we survived that.
I mean, half the session was almost babysitting Laraza.
Yeah, I feel like all of us were kind of like off today too, especially when we first started. At least like I felt like I was kind of off today.
Oh yeah. This week at work was something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The crisp scene was really to like ground everyone.
It's like shit.
Get everyone's attention.
get us away from work and get us back in here. Yeah, so I
That's
like
it's
that.
funny because it was like getting chewed up by your fantasy boss is more fun than getting chewed up by your not fantasy boss.
I've had so many like hard balls thrown at me and curveballs thrown at me this past month that I'm like really resigned to like things happening to me in my personal life. So whenever this happened, I was just like, "Yep, this is just another thing." Like, just throw me another
You're like, oh,
curveball.
Joe, I get yelled at work and in game.
And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Like,
Oh.
I'm about to die. Like, what's next?"
I seriously thought we were about to get at least an ice breath aimed at us, like
And
straight at us.
you managed to pass the deck save to avoid the stalactites falling and stuff like this. So you had good rolls when it mattered. 'Cause you would have entered the Feywild with damage and exhaustion, and if you'd fallen into the water, exhaustion, because that
and then dealing with the satires would have been such drag.
any wishes?
Yeah, my wishes are gonna go back to like the breaks again because I really appreciate having more breaks.
Okay.
But I think maybe if we could find a way to like build them into the role play so that like we're not having a timer go off in the middle of.
So I'm not necessarily the best at. So like usually it's gonna be me setting a scene and keeping track of that. I think what we can do is set like a 15-minute timer, and after it rings, I gotta like do my best to end the scene so that we can have a break. But if we don't have a timer, I'm just gonna forget.
Okay.
Because I'm like.
So you have every hour?
You're kind of like me. I don't actually have a natural sense of time.
Okay, so that's fine. So maybe just like instead of like when the timer goes off, we're all like breaking. Let's like when the timer goes off, let's
We're closing the
assess
scene.
where we are on the scene and
Closing the scene or coming to a pausing point.
Yeah. Because I just like there was one break that we took where like we were learning something really important and then we were like gonna break and I was like, I don't know if I really like that.
And that's jarring.
Yeah.
Jarring, yeah. Sure. Cool. Yeah, this is a good way to improve the fun for all of us. So, excellent. That's it for today's episode.